Michael Villastrigo, and I am an actor and a singer and a dancer, kind of. I try to dance, I can't really dance. Acting is what I enjoy the most. Funny story, I wanted to be a writer from probably age 6 to 12. I didn't know where I was going, I was very antisocial. Then I had a teacher in school actually get me up and start reading, and it was Shakespeare, actually. It was Shakespeare. It was As You Like It, and people were laughing with me instead of at me for a change. And that made a huge difference for me. But I didn't even consider acting at that point. There was one day after school, he took me aside and he said, "Michael, I think you have a very, very big talent for this, and I want you to audition for a play in high school. And when you find out what the play is and what the role is, I want you to come to me and tell me about the role. And I will be there for you. I will teach you what to do. I will help you with it. And I'll be in the front row to watch you." And actually, I was in middle school in 8th grade, and I started acting in high school 2 years later. And he had already left the area for personal reasons, so I never really got a chance to say thank you. It kind of ends on a sad note, but he's the reason, that is how I became an actor. Well, one of my most memorable moments as an actor, I was doing an independent film where I was playing a homeless junkie serial killer, all those at once. I was walking around Brooklyn dressed up as this homeless person, and it's strange because if you're a homeless person in Brooklyn, everyone ignores you except really, really beautiful women. They take time to stop and smile at you, which is bizarre. Really bizarre. But the story starts with me in front of this car window on the street corner where we're going to film. And I'm looking at myself in the mirror, just cursing at myself and sweating, trying to get into character, and just going over my backstory in my head and going over moments. And then a cop car comes by. The cop gets out of the car and goes, "Hey buddy, what you doing here?" And I go, "Oh hi, I'm an actor in a film." And they go, "Really? What are you playing?" I said, "A homeless junkie." "Oh, really, buddy? Okay. So, what's the production company you're working for?" I go, "It's an independent director." Hands in the air. So, they walk over to me, and I realize I'm about to be searched, so I start digging into my pockets, and I take out my wallet, my cell phone, and my harmonica that I always have on me. And then he goes up to me and goes, "No," hands where I can see them. So he starts patting me down on the curb. And in my mind, I'm going, holy crap, I'm actually getting searched by the cops. And then I realize, oh my God, he actually believes I'm a homeless junkie. So as he's talking to me, he says, "You got anything on you I need to know about? Any guns, knives, or needles?" What comes out of me is, "No, but thank you so much for doing this. I am so completely flattered right now. Thank you." So he really thought I was insane. Completely insane. But then he took my ID and I have a squeaky clean record from high school, so he went to the car and he did a background check on me, and I came out completely clean. But then later that day, the film crew was still 20 minutes late, and a homeless junkie, well, I don't know if he's a homeless junkie. I say that because I was a homeless junkie in the film, but there was actually a homeless guy that was 2 blocks in that direction who I was avoiding the entire time, and he slowly made his way over to me. And after they left, he was very close to me, and in my mind I was going, "Oh God, don't come over, don't come over, don't come over." And he goes, "Hey buddy!" And I was like, shit! I was like, "Hi!" And he's like, "It's fucking hard to make a buck out here, isn't it?" And I went, "Yeah man, it totally is." And he says, "All right." He puts his hand on my shoulder. This is a true story. His name was Jeremy. He was missing an eye. He said, "Dude, this is what you gotta do. You're new around here. I'm going to show you the ropes. What you got to do, when a car is coming by, you got to jump in front of the car and go, 'Yo, man, you can't park here. You can't park here because there's gang violence. It's dangerous. What you got to do, you got to go to Mercer Street. And when you say that, you got to stay in front of the car until they move, and that's how you get a hoagie.'" There's a lot of things that actors struggle with. I mean, when you're starting out, it's very, very difficult to make money as an actor. The majority of things you do will be for free. I want a fever of 103. I want your love. I want your love. Ooh, I want your psycho, your vertical stick. Ooh, I want your fever and it makes me just sick. I want your love. I want your love. Especially if you're working in the New York City area, just to get things on your resume and build things up. I mean, a lot of the film things I've done are for free. A lot of the theater things pay next to nothing, especially off-Broadway and off when you're first starting out. Being an actor also coincides with being very, very broke. I think memorizing lines is the easiest part, actually. I think the hard part actually is once you get into the character. Really. I think it's very important for you to really step into their shoes. And the thing is, as an actor, there are a billion different approaches to how to approach a character. And every great actor you see on screen works differently. They use a mix of what works for them and what works for somebody else. The Americans have a method. Like I spoke earlier about how I dressed up as a homeless person and walked around the street in Brooklyn for 2 days. That's the method approach. And that involves using your own experiences, using your own memories. And the English approach, which I also use, comes from the text and your breath. And that's very, very helpful if you're working on classic pieces, or even if you're working on contemporary as well. But there's also the method, the struggles that you use as an actor. They go from being able to sustain being an actor, as far as being able to go where you need to act and afford to be an actor. Also, your approach to being an actor, that's where the methods come in. I use both. I work in a way that Australian actors work. They use a lot of American methods before they work, and then they go on and they use English method. So those are the two that I do. I work like an Australian. Now, if you want to be a professional actor, there are 3 unions you need to remember. There is Actors' Equity, and that is for stage actors. For film actors, there is SAG, the Screen Actors Guild. And for film and sometimes television, smaller film budgets, there's AFTRA. And it's essential that you join these unions because if you want to make a career out of acting, you need to join an acting union because all the big projects that will actually pay you are under the umbrella of the unions.
You should have put a ring on it. Don't be mad what you see that he want it. If you feel like a thing, you should have put a ring on it.
For the time being, in my career, I will be very, very, very happy if I can make enough just so I can keep taking the train in to act and that I can build up my resume and get to the point where I can start making money just acting, not worrying about paying bills and just being able to take care of all of that stuff just by acting. And just to get things on my resume and meet new people and just get better. What I want to do now is be the best actor I can be. I like to act for acting's sake. Now, in the future, I have a weird dream. My parents both bust their butts so I can be an actor. And I'd really like to be able to call them both up one day and tell them that you never have to work again. That's a big dream of mine. I would love to be able to say that someday. And I plan to. One day. I don't know how long it's going to take, but it will happen. And I also, I'd like to work on Broadway, and I'd like to be in feature films someday. I don't really care about being famous. I just want to be able to do great, great work in my life.